it takes a good idea to win. Everyone is saying this is like, I feel like my company is going to pivot again in the next 6 months.
What is that one thing that a lot of founders are missing when it comes to that?
Do the homework for them. Even like give them a blurb of like, okay, this is the message you can send for your simplicity.
Yeah.
People don't read, people don't want to do the extra work.
We've just been doing this for the past 3 months, and we've already been hitting around 200K to 300K annualized revenue. This is one thing that people don't talk about. It's like, oh, I don't have insights. Bro, I cannot do any, I don't know what insights to bring.
So how do you find the insights then?
It's fine.
Hi everyone, this is Motivation Toronto, a place where we uncover and highlight all of the motivated, driven people here in Toronto and the world. Today we have such an amazing guest list. We have Jack and Zeeshan. These are amazing entrepreneurs building in the AI marketing startup space. Jack and Zeeshan, can you introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about like the things that you're building?
Yeah, I'm Zeeshan. I've been building startups for the last 10 years. We've built around 4 or 5 ventures and currently building Searcle with Jack.
Yeah.
I built FutureFit AI and then Lightspace. We worked in HR and recruiting and then Searcle in marketing.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then I'm Jack. My background, I used to be a quant in Wall Street, worked there for a year and so, and then now just for the past 2 years, been just really building on startups. And then
Perfect. That's amazing. All right, let's get started. Just to give the audience a little bit intro about yourselves and give them a little backstory on who you are. My first question is going to be, why did you choose the entrepreneurial path? You know, a lot of people usually pick like a normal path where they go to school, do well in school, and then do their 9 to 5 and go on like that in their life. For you guys, it seems like you had a really good opportunity straight out of school. You could have had some really cool jobs. Why did you choose this path?
Yeah, I mean, I can go first. I think my path is much more traditional. I actually did the 9 to 5 job for quite some time.
Okay.
Right after graduating, and then I just thought that at one point you start noticing that most of the skill that you acquire at a job is pretty much maximized, and in a way that I just see myself. I'm more interested in drawn to the whole aspect of creativity, be able to create something, build something, and see impact that drives, make some impact in the society and so on. So that's really my motivation. It's did my 2-year, 3-year, full-time 9 to 5, and I was okay, time to change it up. And ever since I changed it up, loved it. But that's my story.
Cool. How about Zeeshan? What got you into this?
When I look back, I think I've always had the itch of entrepreneurship growing up, but I never realized that it could potentially become a career path until I got my first job in my first year university. And I had a few options between Amazon, Snapchat, Yelp, and stuff like that. When I actually looked into the kind of stuff I will be doing in these bigger organizations, they already have all the infrastructures and processes set up. So you don't have a chance to innovate something and bring something new to the table. You're always appending to the structure and just repeating the processes. So I also had other options as well, working with a startup. And these 2 kids, they were in 3rd year university. I was in 1st year. And I worked with them as a first engineer. And I realized, okay, these guys are doing something that's very impactful to the world. They were building banking application for people with cognitive difficulties, and they're implementing AI in it. And that was it spoke a lot to me. I think you can, in that setup, learn a lot of new things, but you can also innovate and bring new solutions to the world that can actually make impact. And that made me realize, okay, if those guys can do it, what's missing in me? And I started to bridge that gap, and that got me into building my own startups as well. And I think I find that to be the most fulfilling.
Perfect. That's amazing. And you know what's really interesting is even the companies that you mentioned, these are companies that a lot of people would really, struggle to get into, but you chose the other way. So that's really cool. So I want to get into the entrepreneurial world, right? When you got started, what were the early career wins? Whether or lessons, things that worked out well that taught you, this might be a good way to go, or the lessons that you were wow, I really messed up on that one, and you know what, I need to like improving on the second one, and then we can get into your exciting AI startup, Searcle with an S. So yeah, let's get started with that. Let's see. I want to hear about, your early wins and losses that happened when you got into this entrepreneurial world.
Yeah, I think for me, that's a lot of unlearning.
Yeah.
I started, working in Wall Street, like solving very complicated problems. And when you're solving these complicated problems, one thing that you get so good at is like being picky, being very critical with things, and every workflow just got to work really well. But that's kind of like the quite opposite for startup. It's about, okay, being fast and critical at the same time. And that often conflict, and that's something that is like hard to juggle. And when I think back, like, when the first product we built, I think it took us almost like 3 months. Looking back at it, it's pretty way too long to test out these hypotheses that we had.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like the trap that I got myself in, because it's like, okay, I want to make sure that things is ready. I think that I have this perfect hypothesis that I hold, and without too much testing, I think it is the answer, and then you devote your time and investment towards building it. Whereas much of my time should be actually focus on like validating this hypothesis, executing it to the amount that people just enough, just enough to see values. Like there's a lot of learning for me on that, and that is the biggest lesson for me to learn. It's like the biggest mistake as well. It's like the style of it is just very different, and how do you transition from this style you're so comfortable with and do so well in the traditional 9-to-5 world, and now towards like a startup that's like a completely different beast to
it's like the world of unknown. You don't know what's gonna happen, so you got to move really fast.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And Zeeshan.
Yeah, I think the very first startup we built, Jack and I, we were still in first year. And
wow. Okay. So you guys go back, way back to university.
We did.
Yeah.
And I think it was like we got in very early. We got the taste of startup and building that. And we made all the mistakes that early founders make. And I think in some sense, that was our biggest victory as well. We learned fast. We dove straight into the product. We built the entire thing. And then we figured out it didn't actually work.
Wow.
And I think the win for us was to learn all the lessons as fast as possible that gave us better chances to succeed in our next startups. And I think I would just say that was probably the biggest learning for us.
Oh, that's amazing. So just quickly, like what products have you guys built? I know you mentioned a couple of startups, Zeeshan. So if you can just give us like the highlighted ones. So you don't have to go through all of them, but like the ones that you think you hold dearly to your heart, maybe because you liked it, but nobody did, but you didn't like it, but people loved it. It's sometimes I talk to founders and they tell me, I really love this product. A lot of people didn't, but for me, I hold it dearly to my heart. And sometimes you build something, people are like super wowed by it. For you, it's like, it's not a big deal. So if you can just give me like the products that you were able to build, and just quickly kind of go through like, the lessons and stuff that you learned from it. And then we'll go into the Searcle, because I'm really excited to learn more about that startup. And Jack told me something really cool about like the ARR. So we'll go into that as well. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, we built like first tool we built together was like first started with like a Uber for housekeeping. Like that's
Uber for housekeeping. Wow.
Exactly.
Okay.
We're trying to like disrupt the industry to make everyone a housemate, I guess, and then to just really help to build in this gig economy. That was kind of like the first project we did. From there, we kind of like building something around the HR solutions, like helping with like hybrid work at the right after COVID. Everyone were thinking about the future of work is going to be remote, hybrid. So we're building solution to how do we encourage and motivate people when they're depressed working at home, and how do we improve the communication. So we were building tools around there. From there, we also like start launching around like, what if we solve around like the performance management kind of like side of things. Those are like really interesting question. And then went into recruiting. And those are quite a few ventures that we built together. And there's many sub venture we built in between as well. And now we're building Searcle together, which is we're trying to solve the growth engine and marketing aspect for others to help others who win in the search side, and so and so.
Cool. Yeah, you got me with the Uber for housemates. That's quite an interesting concept. Zeeshan, do you have anything you want to add to that, or is
No, it's all good.
okay? Perfect. Yeah. So basically, what you're saying is like you tried out a couple of things. I think the last one was like in the HR tech space.
Yep.
And now you're in Searcle. Okay, so one thing that really amazed me as a freelancer is like talking to founders and even talking to you, Jack, is that a lot of companies don't know that the marketing channels that they've been using is slowly dying. A lot of people are not searching Google as much anymore. Most of people are looking for answers. They're not looking for 10 blue links and finding the answers themselves. And that begs a question. Where are people going to find their products now, right? And I think that's where Searcle comes in. The AI startup that you're building, I think is trying to disrupt the marketing industry. Is that right? So if you can you explain just briefly like what it does and what got you into it in the first place? Why the marketing space? Why AI right now?
So Searcle is an autonomous content hub that creates content for companies. It connects directly to your domain, and it plans the content that should be created for your company, writes it and publishes it and maintains it over time.
Okay.
I think the big problem that we are trying to solve is how search and organic growth is just generally changing. Yeah. And ChatGPT, while it has gathered the hype, for us, it's almost been a wake-up call that the way the content has been published all throughout this time, we need to rethink the approach towards it. So back in the days, like Google search, it would just show you the most recent content that you have posted on your website.
Yeah.
But now AI has access to pretty much everything that was written even like 2-3 years ago that might be stale now.
Yeah.
It is going into your podcast, looking into your videos, transcripts, and reviews.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more holistic. And when you think about your presence of the company, it's not just the next new page that you have built on your website.
Yeah.
You have to think more holistically around all the content that is in there.
Yeah.
So yes, ChatGPT and Google AI mode is taking in a percentage of search volume. But for us, it's more about a problem of how do we scale this content properly and maintain it over time?
Yeah.
So there isn't content drift, there is not marketing debt that you have to carry forward.
Okay.
And there is a way for companies to maintain that content.
Okay.
So for example, in our case, we pivoted a couple of times, our narratives change, and every company goes through that. So anything that you have written back in the days, like 2 years ago, that still needs to be updated because now ChatGPT is going to start using that older content and telling a different story that you don't want to tell. So Searcle is almost, you can think of it as an infrastructure layer for marketing teams to build and maintain this kind of content.
Gotcha. So I'm just trying to understand here. It connects to your domain. And instead of like, the traditional way would be whatever is the latest content on your website, for example, will show up on Google or any other like search engine. But with yours, it's going to connect to your domain and figure out what content should be like dispersed in all these channels. Is that right?
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
And I think like search is increasingly becoming more valuable, but also more difficult because now everybody is creating content and there's a lot of noise.
Yeah.
So if you are a new company that is just trying to get presence, it's very difficult for you to get started. You need to think about many different channels. So that is the difficult part. But if you do it the right way and you start getting results, it is very lucrative. It's almost like a permissionless distribution for you, right? So Searcle is really trying to do that for companies and giving you the engine that continuously brings you traffic and help you grow your brand.
That's amazing. So what kind of companies would be like a great customer for Searcle? Like what are they, what kind of companies are you targeting or what kind of companies should be looking for you? Because when you think marketing, it can go either way, right? So can you help me understand?
I think the high level principle that we think about it is more like, does your customer relies on some research from the internet to make that decision for the purchase? I think when you look at any B2B company, I need a lot of research because I want to make sure that the product I'm purchasing is aligned towards the goal that I have in the future.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like an important piece. So B2B company is really good.
Yeah.
E-commerce is also an interesting spot. Like
Yeah.
we talk to a lot of e-commerce. Like I think depending on the product, some product are a lot more emotional driven, like
Yeah.
like your hair oil and things.
Yeah.
And then whereas some product, like,
I know.
exactly. And some product like like Chonlix and things, you want it to be more educated. You want to make sure that you understand the spec,
Yeah.
everything. So those type of content like product is really good for things. So the high level is just like, okay, do you think about your business? Will there be a piece of educational piece that your customer cares about?
Yeah.
And if so, like that's where Circle comes in to help you to win in that content piece. Yeah.
So, next question, I'm asking also like as a person that's let's say building a brand or building a business, what is the one thing that a lot of founders are missing when it comes to AI search as it relates to customers discovering their products online? I think that's a bit tricky for a lot of people right now. Before, a lot of people, you'll see a lot of people say, go for SEO, get a good SEO person, get a good like growth or marketing kind of team, and you'll be good. Now it's a bit tricky, right? Not to mention AI is like changing so fast. So what is that one thing that a lot of founders are missing when it comes to that?
Yeah, I think the way to think about it is like, I almost like me and Zeeshan built our company throughout the past couple of years, and one thing we have seen is that distribution is getting harder and harder.
Okay.
Because on a high level, you can just think about it. Right now, anyone can become an engineer to build some, use Lovable, use Cursor to launch some AI business.
Yeah.
And that creates a lot of noise in the industry. It's almost like when I think about these days, like a B2B company or like any AI company, it's almost becoming like e-commerce. Everyone can become a owner like that, something like that.
Yeah.
And that itself have increased the difficulty of distribution.
Yeah. You can't be seen anymore because there's just so much out there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so the winning solution that we really believe in is that there's no one formula that wins anymore. It's more so about doing a good job in every possible channel that matters. Yeah. So that being said, like, hey, have a really good in real life presence. I think that's like a really big trend right now in the startup community, and and also making sure that your digital presence looks legit. Like you have a good content, good educational content, people are able to discover you, be aware of you. There's one stats, it's like pretty much like from SaaStr, like they published, like they were saying that like these days, it takes almost like 30-ish touch point for a customer to believe and buy your product. That stats is like pretty much, if you roll back just like 4 years ago, is like maybe 5 to 10.
Yeah, because there's just so many tools out there. So they can check, like I do the same thing when I'm trying to buy something or looking into a product. Okay, so then how does Circle make it easier for you guys, for a customer now, right? Like how does it make sure, let's say, I'll give you a case study, right? Let's say I have a B2B business. I help with analytics. Like I have a tool that helps companies with analytics, right? I come to Circle. Like how do I make my presence known online when it comes to AI search engines, right? Like if somebody goes in and says, hey, I'm looking for like an analytics service for my company, whether it's in logistics or podcasting or anything like that, how does Circle make it easier for me? I gathered that you said it connects directly to my domain, so it can kind of capture all the contents that have already been created on my website. But what does it do on the back end after that? Like in simpler terms, obviously, like does it go and make it easier for ChatGPT, for example, to capture it, or Perplexity, or Google AI search? Does it go into that? Like how does it make it easier?
Yeah, so what I was saying earlier, there are a lot of different things that you have to think about in terms of presence today. It's not just your technical SEO. I think there is, yes, ChatGPT has caused some disruption, but it's not fully there yet. Yeah. So you do need all sorts of things today. You still have to do really good on SEO to rank higher on Google and AI mode. But you also have to start optimizing for ChatGPT as well. Now, in terms of like what it does for you, one of the bigger things about AI is your domain reputation. can I trust you? Are people talking about you?
Yeah.
What are different citations around you?
Yeah.
And there are already a bunch of websites that rank higher because they did really well in SEO back in the days. So AI is still anchoring a little bit on that. But the way people search has also changed. Now it's long tail keywords. People are asking follow-up questions.
Yeah.
They're asking for more data and content.
Yeah.
So you need to start thinking about your content strategy and more towards addressing those sort of conversations, but also optimizing your content for ChatGPT as well as Google, because they both are equally important today.
Okay.
It's not just the entire traffic is on AI.
Okay.
So all that to say, there's a lot of work to be done. It's not just technical SEO that you can do once and win. You're just not going to get the results. And those are the things behind the scene that Searcle takes care of you.
I see.
It does create content for you that is towards the right intent and the topics that you care about as a business. So you do configure that on the platform.
Yeah.
And then the way we write the content, the way we optimize it is optimized for both Google as well as AI.
Okay.
And we also find ways to get you cited on different other domains as well to boost your authority.
Yeah.
So there's a
And
bunch
your presence
exactly.
naturally kind of increases and makes it easier for you to show up.
Yes.
Yeah.
A high level, if I want to like simple term, think about it as like AI is getting so smart to a standpoint that your traditional SEO agency still work really well.
Yeah.
But we pretty much can get you A plus or S tier recruiting, kind of like the whole SEO agents, marketing agency.
Yeah.
Via Searcle. Like you just go in our site, set it up, config. Takes 15 minutes.
Yeah.
From there, we do research about your brand.
Yeah.
Understand. You can upload content such as like your knowledge base, your sales information, FAQ, all these type of aspect of it.
Yeah.
And then kind of configure who are your target audience, who you want to like reach to, and we help you to find out, okay, where are some of the opportunity because of this new AI search that it has created, and there's no competitor that really have tapped into yet, like this untapped opportunity.
Yeah.
And then we just help you to launch content on this untapped opportunity. In your case, let's say you're doing this like podcast analytics platform.
Yeah.
This is a new industry.
Yeah.
No one have really written a lot of content on it.
So you kind of dominate it.
Exactly. There you go. It's like there's so many new things, and there's always new topic that coming in that you need to win in.
Yeah.
And even with the old topic, there's a lot of time the competitor didn't do a good job in.
Yeah.
We help you to go in to actually educate the space, make it more like present for your brand, and then that's pretty much what we do.
Perfect. Okay, that's amazing. And Jack, you told me earlier that it's been going well so far. Like, can you speak more on that and talk about like how it's been going? How's the reception with customers? Yeah.
It has been doing really well. I think this time around we started the whole venture as more like experiments, and then we were kind of like almost like just helping out a few customers to see, does our hypothesis really help you to win? So we started this as like almost like an agency or like some form of like that type of style of like kind of business for like the initial 2 months of operating. Is like me and Zeeshan just like kind of helping people out manually and then just figuring out things. And then we supported a dozen of customers from there. Yeah. And then in the meantime, we're also building the product as we figure out use case that really resonated with customer and that we believe AI can do a good job to augment that. And via this path, we've just been doing this for the past 3 months. Wow. And we've already been hitting around 200K to 300K annualized revenue.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
We're also getting, there's a lot more exciting news coming in. We joined Focal Ventures residency program recently.
Yeah. What is that about? Like, what do they do? Like, what are they known for?
Yeah, they are like known for like being a very good pre-seed investor. And, this whole future belief in terms of building a company now is like this residency cohort.
That's like seems to be a big trend nowadays.
Exactly. Getting a group of, good founders together that can share your what you're good at and just meanwhile building venture together.
Yeah.
And then so I think that is like the new theme of how to build a company.
Yeah.
And then we are fortunate enough to be part of that cohort, and then to kind of
Cool. That's
boost
amazing.
Circle further. Yeah.
That's really cool. So, I mean, around 200K ARR in just a couple of months. That's incredible. I want to change gears a little bit and want to get into some stuff that a lot of founders might find interesting or as a learning kind of opportunity. When it comes to building your product, what's like the process for you guys, right? It seems like you guys have an amazing chemistry. You go way back to university, but that being there, I'm sure it's really kind of challenging to figure out what to focus on, when to pivot, when to stop. You know, all these things are kind of hard. So just to put it in more simpler terms, what's your process like when you're building something, right? When do you scrap it? When do you continue to go on? Can you tell me what the process was like when you were building Circle? How did it start? How did you pivot? Or like, why did you scrap like the one before? You know, those kind of things really matter, right? So can you get started on that?
Yeah, I think one mistake like most founders make, especially like first time, and we've made those mistakes many times as well, is starting building a product when you haven't earned the right to build it. And
what do you mean by that?
by that you mean like you don't really know what you're building. It's like out of intuition, and there's a lot of emotion attached to it.
Yeah.
You're presenting a solution to a problem that you haven't fully understood. So it's almost like trying to go back to your first principles. One framework that I use a lot is jobs to be done, which is like, what is it really the customer trying to get done? So for example, if you find me at Canadian Tire and I'm trying to buy a drill machine, the thing that I'm really trying to get is not really the machine itself. I probably have to go back home, drill a hole in my wall and hang something over there. So that is the real job that I'm trying to do. And if you think of it that way,
it just means to getting to your
exactly.
result. Yeah.
And now I can do multiple things. I don't have to just buy the machine. I can rent it, or I can hire somebody who can come to my house and do that job for me. So the solution is different for the problem that is being done. So I think like, in order for you to find that problem, you have to go back and start with sales. Try to sell something that people care about. And I think one sentence that we really protect is like, what outcome can we generate for customers that they're willing to pay for? And until we get that signal, what is it? What is the pattern here? We don't touch the product at all. So as Jack said earlier as well, we started with Circle just doing things manually. We worked on emails, we wrote content, and we just sent it and published it on their Webflow. And we figured out what patterns it is. What is it that customers really complaining about? Is it the pricing? Is it something else that we're missing? And once you recognize those things, then you can prioritize it.
I like that. Yeah, I really like the first principle kind of approach as well. Okay, Jack, anything you want to add to that?
I think to me, it's more like you don't need an good idea to start something, because no one has like insights. Like anyone started anything, you knew that you were catching up. It's like you just it's new. But I think it's just like it takes a good idea to win. So for us, or we both knew that like being, search is changing. We saw that at our previous company. And we knew that like we care about, search. Like that's the best, most sustainable way to, gain and grow the company as you scale up. But in the same time, so we know that there's some problem around it. But in the same time, we're not, at first we're like, okay, we knew how to roughly maybe crack the game, but we don't know exactly what customer really wants. So that's where you will be more so open to like, whatever feedback that customer is giving you or whatever insight you can capture. And sometimes, certain insight might only really just work for very niche, unique customer that you have there. Maybe they are not universal. That's fine. That's still good insights. And then you just like, I think it's the whole, as a founder, your whole ability is be able to like collect insights, determine what insights really matters to you in the long run. Put them into this like, final product that you are trying to build. I think that's kind of like what like the founder's real job is, putting the puzzle together. And in order to put the puzzle together, you need to gather as
all the
much information as possible.
I like that part because like when you combine like what you both said, it comes down to really figure out what people are looking for before you go out and build it, and then find out that it's not needed. I think it's something that happens a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that's very critical for a lot of like early founders to know.
Yeah. And I'll tell you about like this is one thing that people don't talk about. It's like, oh, I don't have insights, bro.
Yeah.
I just don't. I cannot do any. I don't know what insights to bring.
So how do you find the insights then?
It's fine. Sometimes this is like kind of like I guess like within this journey we learn a lot. It's like it takes time. Good things take time.
Yeah.
Throughout this journey, what you try to really shape is your ability to solve puzzles, like your ability to be able to find the insights. Maybe the first time you finding the insights takes months. That's totally fine, and that's the whole journey.
So what's your trick or like what's your approach when it comes to finding insights? So for example, when you were building Searcle, were you doing like cold emails saying, hey, let's talk to founders and trying to gather information on, you know, what they're looking for? What's your approach when you're trying to build something? You're looking at you know, a problem, you think you have something. What do you do? What's your like step-by-step kind of approach?
Yeah. I think there's like many different strategies.
Because I'm trying to get to like 200K as well, you know? Yeah.
I agree. I think there's many different strategy around it. My strategy, actually, I think Zeeshan and I have like somewhat like a different way to try it out. I think all strategy can get to the goal.
Okay.
And which is good. You want a diverse strategy because that way you get diverse opinion towards things.
Okay.
Mine is really like, you know, I think I really enjoy talking to warm network. I think warm network, generally speaking,
What is a warm network?
like someone who you work with, someone who know you.
Yeah. So
Someone,
already have like a relationship kind of
exactly,
going.
a relationship there. Because that is easy to kickstart it, like to do so. But what went wrong with a lot of warm network is that you shove the insights to them. Like you're like, this is what I'm building. What do you think? Of course, because given this relationship itself, people it's a hard time to be transparent with you.
Yeah.
The warm network, more so I nurtured it in the sense that, hey, this is what I'm doing.
Okay.
Tell me what you have done. How are you approaching this problem? Are there actually some problem there? Like, are you paying anyone for anything? Like, we really go from the open-minded experimenting thing type of like.
So you set up a
approach.
Meeting. You're like, look, this is the tool that I'm working on. What do you think? Give me your honest opinion.
Not even tool. It's straight up just like,
oh, this is like,
what is the problem you're trying to solve right now?
I think one of the biggest challenges, and I can also speak for myself, is a lot of people don't have that warm network.
Yeah.
It's more like super cold network. So how do you approach that when you don't have a lot of network in an industry that you're trying to get into, but you have some sort of like insight? How do you approach it? Or like for you guys, how did you find, you know, your customers and so on? If you don't have, when you don't have the warm network, what's your approach? Do you just do a lot of cold emails? Do you start reaching out to people? Do you use LinkedIn? Like what's that process?
I'll say
like
all channel works. I think this is what I learned from Zeeshan a lot. Like all channel works. The key is being genuine and be genuine with
being honest as
being
well.
honest.
Right?
Exactly. People, it's like, I think that it's almost like a business model problem.
Yeah.
If you come in to be like, hey, I have this great intent that I want to try to solve.
Yeah.
I'm happy to like do it, and then it's free of charge. I just want to learn.
Yeah.
No one's gonna say no.
Yeah.
I think that's how like
It's net positive in a way, right? It's just time. They're losing time, but at the same time, they might benefit something.
Exactly. You know? I think that's kind of like the whole essence of it. But what they won't want is like, hey, you know, I have this problem I want to solve.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna worth something.
Yeah.
And then they are not even certain about the outcome yet. And then you're like, no, but you got to pay me for me to experiment with you. That becomes like a lot harder. I think business model matters. I think the pricing matters.
Yeah.
I think also about if you don't really know the problem, which is fine. Just be honest. I don't know, but I have this type of skill. Guide me, like tell me where I can fit in the puzzle. And then so this is a real way to collect information. Like, start small. And gather more information, and then via time you actually have insights, and you figure out, oh, all 10 customers struggle with this type of like use case. Yeah. Then you can have this conviction to tell your next customer, like, hey, these are the problems that we noticed generally happen. Is it true for you?
How about Zeeshan? What's your secret sauce when it comes to reaching out?
We tried a lot of experimentation as well. I think one skill that we had to learn over time was doing really good discovery calls with customers. And we also brought in advisors in areas that we thought we were lacking expertise.
Do you think advisors, sorry to cut you off, but like, do you think advisors are useful early on? Like, what's your take on it?
It's very rare. I think it's mostly a hit or a miss. And that's why I was trying to bring that up. I think for us, with some advisors, we lucked out, but with a lot of others, we didn't get the value that we were looking for. So I'm not convinced that is the right channel. Maybe there's incentive misalignment. People don't tell you what you need to hear. Maybe they're too nice. They don't give you the insights, or maybe they don't even have the insights. And I think that is
finding that match is really hard.
But in essence, what we were trying to do earlier was outsourcing this insight generation when it needs to come from the founders. You cannot rely on somebody else to give you that. So you do need to read between the lines to really figure out what people are trying to say. But I think the more success that you can have in terms of getting insights is being in the industry. So if you do have a background in that industry, very likely you have seen warm the pain directly and have the warm network as well. But I think like if you have experienced that pain directly, there's a very good chance you have the insight. But if you are interested in the industry that you haven't get into yet, just get a job, just work in that for a year or two, build that.
That's the last thing I thought you would say, get a job. But I see what you mean, like get involved in that industry, in that world, so that you can get that network going.
Absolutely.
So I think that's a good approach. Something about finding advisors, subject matter experts. One of the things I've heard from other founders is like, oh, do cold calls, go to networking events. Like, what are because I'm trying to figure out like the practical things that a lot of people can use early on in their like founders journey. What would you recommend? Do you have those things first of all worked for you guys? What works really?
I think all depends. And this is I know this is like the most hated answer. It's like, what do you mean by depends? Like the way I think about it is like almost every action you do is like there's a probability that it will succeed or not. And I think, generally, look at the stats, cold calling, you're going to pretty much have like a success rate of maybe like 2%.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. So that being said, it's like, okay, you probably have to dial a lot. Like within a whole week, you might be able to get luck. If you luck out, you can find out this one person. So a couple things you can do to kind of boost this like effectiveness. First is like ensure that everyone that you cold call to are actually somehow you believe that they're your target audience.
Or decision makers as well.
Exactly. It's like really vet through that list, like to make sure that that's the case. Because if you get luck out, you knew that you get luck out with the right person. Like that's what you pretty much trying to. That's the only way to like really boost the odds. Like I think that's something that you can kind of like work on to improve on. And in terms of like which channel works, it doesn't matter. It's like which channel you know the most that you think you will be the best at it. It's like you're better than your competitor at it, pretty much.
I see.
It's like if you're better than your competitor at cold calling works for you.
And you got to know your stuff as well. Like you get to the person, you have their attention, and the worst thing you can do is like not know your stuff because it's just automatically going to turn them off. So that's also critical, right?
Exactly. But the funny thing is, this is the funny thing. It's like if I don't know my stuff, you're humble towards it. It's like, hey, I don't. Actually, this is a great question. Like, be truthful about it. People actually love that because if you don't, because like when you don't know something, I think just determine whether or not what you don't know is like a hard question or it's something that is just so easy. You could have ChatGPT it. Like then that's something that you should just know on a basic term. So I don't think people are blaming you for not knowing something that's really hard.
But you got to know the stuff that you can easily get. I think that's what really pisses people off is like you could have easily found that on the website or like some research, like maybe an hour or two would have kind of got you.
Exactly.
And
I think that's the whole essence. Like essentially, as long as you do your homework and be honest with what you don't know, I think you actually ended up doing pretty well.
And Zeeshan, I think you wanted to say something.
It's totally that. I think just being prepared, even when you're talking to advisors, I think at first we weren't really prepared. We didn't know what value we want and being very clear about what that is. And then we started doing more of that. So anytime we need a favor from somebody, we tell them exactly what it is. Oh, this David person from XYZ company, can you get us introduced there? Instead of just saying, hey, we're looking for marketing people if you know anybody in the network. So do the homework for them. Even like give them a blurb of like, okay, this is the message you can send for your simplicity.
Yep.
People don't read, people don't want to do the extra work. It's just like you have to work with like what you get.
What you got.
Yeah.
And one last question on outreach, because I think this is something that a lot of people kind of struggle with, including myself. Do you believe in a very personalized messaging when it comes to reaching out to your potential customer, even if it's discovery call or getting that like initial meeting? Do you think it's better to have like a more of like a generic, well, somewhat personalized? With AI nowadays, you can kind of get it to a certain point where it's kind of personalized and send maybe 100 emails? Or is it better to spend, a couple of hours and get like very top-notch, high-quality, like 30 emails sent out? Which approach does work for you?
I think it actually depends.
Okay.
I know you.
That's your favorite answer.
I know. I guess like I'll kind of like the way I think about this too is like the trade-off is like, okay, volume matters. Like essentially, if you have like the way I think about it is just like a probability game. Like let's say with AI to personalize it.
Yeah.
The thing that people don't recognize is like when AI personalizing the email, there's a error rate. Like maybe you think that you're personalizing like 100 emails. With AI personalizing it, you're actually really truthfully like what's the high quality personalization? What's like a average personalization? What's like a like a low personalization? I think of it this way. So 100 email, most likely you will get like maybe 10 email that is like highly personalized because of luck, because of some research that you're able to do somehow. And maybe the bulk of it is going to be average. And then there's decent portion of it is going to be like bad. So given that, so each email has like a chances of like, landing in the inbox, someone actually read it, and then that's like an ICP. It ended up essentially work out a math. I think that it's like, even with a personalized message at mass, you're going to get somewhere a reply rate of 1% if you're lucky, or 2%. Like, and whereas like if you're actually like hyper personalizing it, the concern there is like, I think the odds actually boost substantially. But what your concern there is more so, there is a chance that people are not going to open up the email. So it's a numbers game. Okay, you send off 30 personalized email, people didn't read it.
Okay.
And you think you're personalizing it as well.
But it's not,
Then
so you gotta be careful
might not
when it
be.
comes to
like,
AI.
I think that's the whole essence of it. It's like, and also is that, I think that's, generally speaking, I think that's why it's like, depends. Like, there's so many factors that involve in it. I think at the end is just try both. If you're not sure, try both approach. And then to see which approach actually yield you a better results, and then continue with that, and then recognize what worked and what didn't work, and try to be able to test it out more.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for providing all those insights. I'm sure a lot of people will find that useful. So going back to Searcle, one of the things that a lot of people talk about, especially in the tech scene in Toronto, is like, is it better to build in SF, NYC, or Toronto? Right? I think Jack, you said you worked in NYC, like you were in Wall Street. And I'm sure you guys could have kind of found a way to go and like figure this thing out in SF or somewhere else. What are your thoughts about like building in Toronto versus like everywhere else? And also when it comes to Searcle, what has your experience been so far building Searcle in Toronto? Do you find the ecosystem really friendly, easy? Finding like advisors, investors? Like walk us through that process in your journey so far.
I think to me, it's really like, I think building in Toronto, the biggest merits you're gonna get is price. Like much like very talented labor force that can run the operation very efficiently. I think that's like the main benefits of like being in Toronto. And then we have a hacker house together.
Cool. Wow. I forgot about that. So you guys build all in one house now. You're still doing that?
We literally have like an entire house apartment, and then we moved from an apartment to like a house this year.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I remember the apartment from LinkedIn. You used to post a lot.
So
everybody in the team is in one house. You guys all live together, and wow.
And that's like a lot harder to achieve in SF. I think that's like the cost is like a real benefits, like the runway and everything. But then you always hear this, you get what you pay for in some degree. I think that being around like, in Toronto, there's very few founder that is actually trying to solve the AI problem.
Yeah.
And so that being said, it's like your feedback loop is not going to be as fast. It's like you want to know, okay, what's the up-to-date model? You want to be closer to like, you know,
to the source almost, right?
Exactly, closer to the frontier model people as much as you can to know, okay, what's coming up soon? Like, you know, what are everyone doing? Like, what is everyone failing at? Like, you want to have this information edge. So how do you, it's like a trade-off between like cost versus like information edge. So both has its own merits. It's more like, okay, if you knew that you're in Toronto, you knew that you benefited from this cost, you're losing out on this information edge, how can you bridge that gap? So one way that we try to solve this problem is like me and Zeeshan both try to get out of Toronto as much as we can.
Yeah.
We actually spend almost like half our time going forward, maybe even more a little bit, and to just be in SF to get that information edge.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, I think that's what we're thinking of. In the same time, we do recognize there's a lot of merit to be in Toronto.
Yeah.
Like Canadian are definitely nice. They're very like welcoming. So I think those are the things that we kind of like have to continuously battle in between. Yeah.
Cool. And as time is going right now, I just wanted to ask you more about like, as you're building Searcle, are you planning to do bootstrapping, looking for investment? What is that like when building in Toronto, especially in the tech scene? What does that look like? Because you hear stories, especially with the AI startups, like they started like 9 months ago now. They're being sold for like $1 gazillion to Meta or something, you know? It's crazy right now, right? So what does that look like when you're building like an AI startup in Toronto now?
Yeah. I think I like Zeeshan's philosophy on that. Like I think Zeeshan had this philosophy we always talk about internally. It's like, don't build a venture for VC.
Yeah.
Like really, you're building it for the customer.
Yeah.
And I think I've seen enough of it like being the case. It's like, does that mean that don't raise? No.
Yeah.
It's like, still raise. Like we ourselves are raising. We are backed by Focal.
Yeah.
And there's other venture that is interested in us as well.
Yeah.
So we are still gonna raise. But the whole essence of it is more like raising is just part of the journey. Like I think it's like you don't want to pretty much focus on use cases like, oh, because this use case is sexy in the VC world. So you should just like
that shouldn't be your main focus. It should be like really solving the problem for your customers.
Exactly.
first.
Because when you solve the problem of a customer, you get revenue. And then you learn a lot about the problem. You get a lot of insights. You get the connection.
Yeah.
It enables you to really solve the problem in the long run.
Okay.
I think
I
that's
like that.
It's like aligning the two. If you can align the two, you that's amazing. That's
so
the
it's
best.
more of like getting a mix of everything, right? And finding that balance. And Zeeshan, like, so in terms of Searcle, what does the future look like? Actually, for both of you, what are you hoping that this company will be in the future? And what exciting things are coming for it?
Yeah, I was just joking with Jack the other day. A lot of these sea animals evolve into crabs, right? And I think a lot of AI tools are also evolving into lovable. It's like you chat with it and like your stuff
builds
happens.
it for you. Yeah.
And I think like we are trying to sort of reapproach content management system, like what Webflow has been doing really well.
Yeah.
It's just that the problem that we are seeing is long-term maintenance of it. Once you write the content, it's out there. How do you maintain it over time?
Yeah.
And it's through our automated system, we can do that more.
Yeah.
And we do want to, first of all, iron out really well the written content funnel, but there are other parts of it as well. You do need to create multiple sources, different areas, right? So I think we want to become sort of an infrastructure layer for marketing teams that can manage this content.
Almost
and
like the
maintain
back
it
end,
over
like the operating system for the marketing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's our vision at the moment. But we don't want to be tunnel visioned either. We are also working closely with customers and see like where the market is going.
Yeah.
But
And it's very dynamic nowadays, so you don't know where it's going to end up. Yeah.
I mean, like, if you look at all the AI company, everyone is saying this is like, I feel like my company is going to pivot again in the next 6 months.
Yeah.
I
Because
think
the information is like moving so fast now.
use case information, and you just need to continue to add new value. Like I almost believe that this journey, and this is why I'm like building it with Zeeshan as well. And then it's like, I think that as a founder, you are not trying to crack the problem once. Like if you just crack it once, you're like, oh, I'm done. I'm able to like grow to a certain size.
Yeah.
That's not sustainable.
Yeah.
you're really finding partners that can crack it over and over and over and over again. Like
Yeah.
you just keep on winning. That's the tricks to be
Yeah.
a good
There's no like
startup.
one solution and you can just chill out and
No.
you got to be on top of it every second. Yeah.
And I think this
And the
is real-
competition is also very
Exactly.
harsh right now.
That's the real definition of being a founder. And
Yeah.
then me and Zeeshan, I really believe that our team just have what it takes to continuously to win.
Yeah. How
And
big
I-
is your team now, by the way?
Yeah, just three people.
Wow,
Three
that's
people,
amazing.
three
Okay.
of us, and then me and Zeeshan, the main co-founder.
Yeah.
And then it's niche.
Yeah.
And then
I like that.
Yeah. So
And yeah, our time is like just coming to an end. So first question, where can they find you? And Searcle. So if you can just quickly kind of share like where your handles are and everything, we'll try to put it on when we post it as well. But if you can add that and, parting ways, like I also want you to share whatever you want to share as we close out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can always find us on Searcle.ai.
Yeah.
So Searcle is like with the search.
Yeah.
So SEAR
Yeah.
and then call like CLL.
Yeah.
So that's what we.
It's like Circle with an S.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then in terms of like, if you guys have any like marketing question in general, we're always happy to chat. And even between like any question about like just starting the startup journey, anything, feel free to like find us on LinkedIn and so and so.
Yeah.
I always read my emails as well. So
Yeah. They're pretty active on LinkedIn as well, actually. So that's how I discovered you guys. So I'm really, really excited for what's to come for Searcle and both of you. I really admire the stuff that you're doing. So yeah, I'm excited to see it. And thank you so much for coming to Motivation Toronto. And yeah, we'll look forward to looking at your journey and seeing what's happening.
Yeah.
No,
Thank you.
Thanks for having us here.
Yeah.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.